This just happened. Let's see if the date here identified on Monday. This happened last Monday. Here, this is the 21st. Navy IDs 2 aviators who died in the EA-18G Growler crash last week.
Now, a Growler is basically it's a fighter that's used mainly for electronic warfare and to target radar stations for anti-aircraft missiles.
Yeah, it's a refitted Hornet. It's an F-18 Hornet refitted with jamming gear and deep radar.
Yes, so it was incredibly expensive.
Yes.
And now it's a black stain on the side of a mountain in Washington
Looks
State?
like it actually hit a field.
Yes.
But the scar that it left indicates high velocity impact at not a great angle.
Did they ever give a reason why they didn't eject?
I have not seen anything yet. The Navy is slow to report that stuff to the civilian world. But Naval Aviator Serena Wellman, 31, and Naval Flight Officer Lieutenant Commander Lindsay Evans, 31, from Electronic Attack Squadron 130, based out of Naval Air Station Whidbey Island in Washington, which is one of our big bases. The big ships go in and out of there. We're conducting a routine training flight on Tuesday at the time of the crash. It is with a heavy heart that we share the loss of our two beloved zappers. I know what zappers are. The anti-radar crew. They will hunt. They're radar hunters.
Yep.
And they've got the missiles for taking out radar on the ground, for taking out radar aircraft in the air. We call those Pop-Tarts.
Well, also, during Vietnam, it was the wild weasel.
Yes.
Yes, that's where this tactic
Those
started.
are the Sam hunters.
Yeah.
And that had a short effing blanking life expectancy.
Oh, yeah. It's a horrible job.
Commanding officer of the Electronic Attack Squadron 130 said in a statement on Sunday, our priority right now is taking care of the families of our fallen aviators, which means the report is being questioned, and ensuring the well-being of our sailors and the Growler community. We are grateful for the ongoing teamwork to safely recover the deceased. Wreckage of the crash was identified Wednesday, and the Navy said Thursday night that it rests approximately 6,000 feet altitude in a remote, steep, and heavily wooded area east of Rainier. I've been on Rainier. You've been on Rainier too, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
That's some terrain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's some ball-busting terrain. So it's going to take them. They're probably going to have to take a SAR team up there with a helicopter.
Oh, yeah.
Go up there and get.
But I have no idea why they didn't eject. What happened?
I don't know. It says the cause of the crash is still under investigation. Soldiers from First Group at Washington, based at nearby Lewis McChord, stepped in to assist with search and recovery, and those would be the guys to do that too. They'll know their stuff and know how to get in there. And one of the missions for SOF, the PJs did it, and I believe you guys did it too. If a plane with expensive secret stuff goes down,
oh yeah,
go in there and get it all before anybody else can.
If it goes down near us, yeah,
or blow it up.
Yeah, usually it was if it was super secret scroll and worth a lot of money. Normally, we just created a cordon around it so nobody can go in or out, and then the people with the big brains came and they
got their stuff. Yeah.
But that's typically how that works out.
I've done similar-ish. The story I told last week about the Air Force guy getting his eyes sanded by the Chinook, that was a
I believe before I even got to the regiment in '88, they had a situation in '86 where one of the companies from Second Bat was scrambled, put on helicopters, and then secured an air. I think it was a Air Force jet that went down in Yakima. It could be wrong.
I wouldn't have been paying attention to anything.
No, I wasn't there at the time. It's just scuttlebutt that I heard when I was there.
Oh, okay.
Because it was one of our missions on call.
I know that's one of the missions.
If you're on QRF,
the guys with the expensive toys.
Yeah.
Can you send a couple of group guys over to this grid square because we've got a shitstorm?
No, these are airborne rangers, so you get 2 CH-47s, and they land, and then shit happens.
Do their little cordon.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I like the fact that you guys didn't seem to talk during actual operations. Everybody just sort of knew what they were doing, and one or two people would talk, and somebody would report on the radio. But the rest of the time, you guys just
And just follow along.
Yeah.
Because you pretty much do the same thing.
Yeah.
But I literally, I want to know the details.
I want to know the details too, but they haven't given them in here. Evans coordinated and executed multiple combat strikes against Houthi-controlled areas in Yemen and implemented new warfare tactics as the squadron's training officer to deter Houthi aggression. The Houthi weren't using very big radars, so I wonder what they were doing. I'd love to see that. Now, we read the article about the actual plane before the show went on. These things can work as a unit and do what we call DF, direction finding, to acquire targets. It's really effective. In the analog days when I was working it, if you broadcast, we could get you in 6 seconds.
Yep.
Down to a 10-meter grid.
I don't know, man.
We could get an 8-digit grid on you with that. I don't know what they can do now. Here's the problem.
It's
with
probably
these
way
planes,
more
though.
accurate.
They don't have enough operational planes. They were supposed to have 85 flying. They don't. So
Well, you want to know why?
they can't use one of their biggest. I have no idea why.
They don't have enough pilots.
Well,
the Navy,
short too now, aren't
the
they?
Navy
That's
and
me.
the
I'm sorry.
Army
Too soon?
and the Air Force are critically low on pilots.
Yes, they are.
And they've basically driven them out of the service with that whole vax mandate horse shit.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these guys are like, you know what? Pound sand, I'm out. Yeah, okay, I'm a major.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm going to go work in the civilian sector, make $250,000 a year.
Now, here's the big tell in this article here that something went wrong pilot-wise, because the article, and this is the Navy Times, so this is the propaganda arm of the United States Navy. It just is what it is. The article is over and over and over again. Women, women, women. They're great. They're great. They're great. They're great. Women, the women. They're great. They're great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so something went wrong.
Yeah.
And they were unable to recover. And the fact that they weren't able to get clear of the F-18, it's a carrier plane. You're damn right it's got ejection capability.
They all do.
Yeah.
You're not getting in a modern airframe without an ejection seat. That's just the way it goes. Unless it's like a refueler or something like that.
Well,
not happening.
Here's another thing. I don't know what they were doing up there. We don't know what they were doing while they were in the air. It says it's a routine training flight.
Probably was.
But this aircraft has a jamming system, which is meant to shut down any enemy radar until they can get close enough to drop a freaking Shrike or something on it.
Yeah, put a missile up its ass.
And I happen to know, and there's Master Sergeant Jack Dona out there was an EW equipment expert that I met recently and been talking to. And we both recall the quick fix birds, the helicopters that we use, their jamming equipment would mess with the plane's radar.
Okay.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these planes, especially at high speeds, are flown by radar now.
That's bad.
Right.
Yeah. So if you blind them, things happen.
So I'm wondering if it wasn't related to that somehow, because I could see that being hairy at 280 miles an hour.
Yeah, because if you look at our thumbnail, there's a stain on a field, which is actually what's left of this crash site.
Yes. Yes. And it struck this strange gay soldier in the ear, apparently.
Yes. I don't know, man. And can we have somebody in the chat look up and see how much one of these things cost, so we know what?
Oh, I'm going with 400 to 600 million.
I don't know.
I'm imagining it's going to be. It's the EA-18 Growler. EA-18 Growler is the aircraft. If you can find a price on that, I'll keep an eye on the chats and see if I can catch you saying it.
Yeah, listen, we're not. Look, my heart goes out to the families.
Yes, absolutely.
Of all the people, of the two ladies that got smoked. It's terrible. I got it. But, if you're going to be putting women in situations that are dangerous like this, that they're unprepared for, somebody's going to have to, take the blame, in my opinion.
Somebody says 125 million.
Okay, I can believe that.
And then somebody else says probably 125 million for development and 67 million for the base aircraft.
Yeah, it's usually 50 to 75 grand for the base aircraft.
And then all of the upgrades.
Then the upgrades and electronics.
Bells and whistles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like Pop's saying, we're not after these two women in particular, okay? The point here is The Navy is forcing the issue. The article here points it out well. Women. What you need in an aircraft like this is competence, ability, know-how, calm, and competence.
Yes.
And no genitalia provides you with any of those things in any form.
Fair enough.
I'm 5'5". Guess what my chances were of being an aviator?
About zero.
About zero.
Yeah. Same here. I didn't have
helicopter crew. I could be helicopter crew.
I mean,
I wasn't going to be a pilot though.
I just wanted to be a bullet slinger.
I joined up and I walked into the recruiter and said, I want to be infantry. And he looked at me and gave me a bunch of tests. He said, no, you're going to do this instead of what's this? Next thing I know, I'm a basic half right face doing push-ups on the last day of at graduation. What did I do? You're going to language school. I've been trying to get into that damn school for 3 years now and I can't get in. And here you are, a basic trainee.
There you go.
I didn't do it.
You test out.
I tested out. Again, the point here is competence. I don't care what genitalia you have. Can you do the damn job?
Correct.
And in the case of these aircraft, the stresses up there, the pressures, and I know I've talked to the fighter pilots, those stresses you black out.
Yeah.
They're taught special breathing exercises to make sure all of the blood doesn't flood into their legs and black them out.
But you black out north of 9 Gs, and then if you hit 20 Gs, you will basically perforate your aorta and die in 45 seconds.
I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
I do.
Obviously,
it's one of those sick things I know.
Yeah, we talked to some of the fighter pilots, and they're like, yeah, you get into a tight turn, and it just feels like you're being crushed and shit. You require a certain physiology to handle that kind of stress.
I would have to say so. Now, listen, I don't have a problem if women are flying planes. Great, got it. I start having a problem when you're trying to put women into combat roles and then you lower the standards so they fit.
Yes.
That's not how reality works.
Bing, competence.
That's not how the real world works.
Yep.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the meat caser box.